Hey guys, Salut, tous. We've entered September and many are doing autumn themed videos with autumn fall colors and Halloween, and I've even seen some Christmas, but we're not. Today we're going on holiday. We're going on holiday, we're going on a Mediterranean cruise, and we're going to feature metallic sands and the turquoise Mediterranean Sea and silvery cruise ship portholes. Okay, and the clay I'm using, as you can see from the photos in the intro, I've played with a couple of different techniques over the last week or so. We're using Sculpey copper, Sculpey bronze. These are mixed with just a little bit, just a touch of translucent. This is Cernit blue turquoise blue, just as is. And this is Cernit turquoise green, and this is mixed roughly half and half with Cernit translucent. I have just a little bit of white, and I have here sort of translucent. I also have a silver chrome marker, silver foil leaf or metal foil, silver heat transfer foil. I have a selection of circle cutters, and I have here some circle stamps. And then I also have here just a glass tile, which we're going to make our portholes on. Okay, so I'm going to tidy up here and condition my translucent clay, and we'll come back and we're going to start on making the portholes. Okay, so for the first pendant I did, the black one, I just used silver clay and I covered it in sterling lining. That worked fine, but I had a devil of a time trying to get the mica powder off the black, because even though I blew it off and wiped it off, the mica powder still got on the black. For the second one, I just did layers and layers and layers of the heat transfer foil. So I did a layer, cut and stack, layer, cut and stack, layer, cut and stack. And this one looks great, but because of the glue is pinky, it's got a pink hue on the side, and I don't like it. I don't want to add mica powder. In fact, this is what the clay looks like when it's mixed. Again, it's kind of a purpley pink color. So I'm not going to use these for this one. I'll put that away. What we're going to do is we're going to take translucent clay and mix this foil leaf into the translucent. So then if on a side angle, you will be able to see silvery and it should be nice and shiny anyway. And I had a lovely meeting with Dominique yesterday. Her and her husband, they were holidaying and they came to visit me in Salon de Provence, and she very kindly gifted me with a whole bag load of stuff. She's cleaning out her craft supplies, and I tell you, I'm a very lucky girl. She gave me a lot. Anyway, so now I'm just going to mix this in. I'm not going to go through my pasta machine at first. I don't want to get foil in it, quite simply. And you know, this stuff is really hard to clean up. Okay, I should have done that on my glass tile. Whoop. All right, so let's get this mixed in by hand. And I'm gonna have to put more in, I think, as well. But before I do anything, I'm going to put a top on this, because this is murder to clean up. Okay, now let's give this a roll. Again, clay does not want to stick to foil, so I need to really work it in. I'll get there eventually. In the meantime, I'll do this off camera, and I will come back when I have it all mixed in. Okay, so I've gotten this far, and I'm worried that the heat transfer foil will not stick very well to where the metal foil is. So I'm going to add a little bit of Cernit glue. This should soften the clay a bit, and also I'm kind of thinking, because it's glue in it, I might not have to add glue to adhere it to a baked surface, which is my plan. So I am going to give this a try and see how we get on. Okay, so that's just a little bit there. and give this a squeeze. I'm going to want it to be sticky for the heat transfer foil, and also if I can get away with not having to add glue onto the baked piece to adhere this raw clay into a baked piece, that would be great. So this is also kind of an experiment. I'm going to put some more. This is old translucent clay, so it's a little bit crumbly anyway. But it's giving me a little bit of trouble. So give it a squeeze. Put it through the machine again. I'm really trying to get the foil packed in there with my hands instead of letting the machine do all the work. Because again, I don't want to have to clean up all bits of silver out of my machine. Okay, now it's reacting with the glue, but that's okay. Persevere. Yeah, see, now it's kind of going crumbly, but that's okay. So I'm going to keep working on this, and I'll come back when it's all nicely mixed in. Okay, so it's all nicely mixed in, and I did some samples. Here it is. This is a bit of a clay. It was cured clay from a previous tutorial, and as you can see, it is well adhered to the clay. It's not coming off. So putting the glue in the clay works a treat. So I'm very pleased with that little discovery. And also there's going to be a change of plan. I'll tell you why. I took this pendant off its cord, and I wanted to make sure that it would sit the same glue in the clay and on the clay would work on a sanded and buffed piece. And it did. It really did. But like anytime you put a buffed piece into the oven, the heat dulls the shine. So what I did was I got my rotary tool to give it a good buff again, and the rotary tool actually took off the silver and left the pink. And so what I did, I just took the chrome marker and I just put it on top after this was all cured. Okay, so there we go. So there is a change of plan, because I did another little sample, and I actually prefer just this alone without the heat transfer foil. And this part here, this I used a chrome marker on when the clay was raw, and it is not coming off. So I'm going to scrap the heat transfer foil. I'm only going to work with the silver foil in the translucent clay, and a little bit of the chrome marker, and then after it is all cured, I'm going to put another coat of the chrome marker. Okay, that was a mouthful. Right, so here I have this now. So I put quite a lot of glue in here. You can see it's quite tacky. The clay is quite tacky. Now I have this on a number 6. I'm going to bring it down to a number 7. Number 7 on my pasta machine. So it is the second or the third thinnest setting. And I don't need all of this, so I'm going to take just this bit here. Get a piece of paper and burnish that down. Now I'm going to go with a similar design as in the black pendant that you saw at the intro. So I'm going to use, let me just put this back. Okay, I just brought this back to a 2, so it's a little bit thicker. That's better for storing it for later. Okay, so for the black one, I used this, and this. Now for the biggest one, I'm going to need to move my light, sorry guys. I used the yellow, because the yellow is the largest. So the yellow, let me get my little block. The yellow. Now this is not nice and sharp. This is going to have to be cleaned up afterwards. And then I come in with this, make sure, yeah, it's pretty centered, a nice one. And go down like that. So I'm gonna have at least one big one, okay? And then I'm going to make 3 of the yellow one. 1, 2, 3. And then next size down is the red. Make sure they're gone in. And then for the red, I'm going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to make, it doesn't matter how many I make, it's just that they're made. They won't go to waste. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then for the red one, I need to use the orange. And I don't believe, I'm not using my magnifying. Oh, that's no good. Better. Anyway, you get the point. Not that one. And I just want to do this now in advance because I want this to sit. So we'll firm up just a little bit. I don't want to work with really, really sticky clay. I mean, I want it to be sticky, but I want to be able to get it off the glass without it distorting. And so, try there. And that one's not the best, so just do one more. Like that. Okay. Now you could, if you wanted to, if you want to make them bigger, you could use, you can skip a size in between. So they're like that, which is a good idea as well. But I think I want to keep them really small. Okay. So I'm going to put these away. Okay. Now just going to pull this up. Voila. And with my X-Acto knife, I'm just going to do the one on camera and I'll do the rest off camera. Just pull this up. There we go. And again, I will need my magnifying glass later, but I'm just going to get off all the little crud because I use the plastic side. It really needs cleaned up. Okay, and I'm just going to take this one here. Come on. There we go. So, okay. Now, I noticed that there is a difference. If you put the chrome on the raw plate, yes, it's close to dinner time. If you put the chrome on the raw clay, it adheres so much better. And again, afterwards, we can, or maybe I shouldn't do that actually, because then I can't push out. I'm gonna, yeah, no, forget that step. We're not gonna do the raw clay, because. No, you know what? We can actually. We can do the raw clay when it is on, when it is actually on the on the cured pendant. Okay, so that's our little circles. So all we're doing, taking little circles, and those will be our portholes. Again, I'm going to leave out the transfer foil and just use this, and I think they're going to just sweet. There we go. Again, I'm going to let these sit so they'll be easier to work with, to put on the piece. Okay, so I'll be back now, and then we're going to do the actual pendant. Okay, so I have my clay here rolled out on number 2. my thickest being 0. And we're going to do quite a sharp blend. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I like to do it on the raw edge. I think it just helps blend a bit better. So put the copper on the bronze. I'm going to cut that off. If you're new here, the reason I put translucent in my clay, especially when doing mica shift, is that it really adds to the shift. The more translucent clay you have in there, the more light is allowed into the clay, and the more you will see the mica particles alignment. Okay, so that's that. I don't need that much, I don't believe. I'm gonna go there. I can always add more if I feel I need to. And then the translucent, the turquoise. Now I have a lot of turquoise, a lot of translucent in the turquoise, because like for the last pendant I just showed you, I want the sand to kind of run into the sea, and you will see the copper coming in through the turquoise with a lot of translucent clay in it. Okay, so that's that. And I'm not gonna need that much either. So I'm gonna go here. I think I already have it too wide, but we'll give it a go. And then I want just a little touch of the darker blue. And voila. And so this is my way of doing a Skinner blend. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to take that off there. There we go. Okay. I just love copper and turquoise together. I think they go beautifully, or the green turquoise anyway. Okay, so now I'm going to give this a quick roll. There we go. And we have silver. See, silver is everywhere, that silver leaf. Okay, now I'm going to fold it over on itself, color to color, like that. Put it through the pass machine like this on a, put it back to a 0. Like that. And I'm going to put it down to a 2. And then give it a fold. And put it through the machine again like that. And again. So I'm going to keep on doing that in this direction. And I'm also going to keep changing sides. I'm going to keep butting one side up against the edge of my roller. And then, so I try to keep the blend a little bit compacted. I don't want it to kind of spread out. Okay, so I'm going to keep on doing this until I have a very good blend. And there's one little trick with Skinner blends. It's really important that you really blend it well, because just because it looks like it's blended on the surface, if you're going to sand, you might find that it's not so blended in the middle. So you really want to make sure you give this a really good blend. I'm going to pass this through the machine at least 25 or 30 times. All right, so that is the key to a good Skinner blend. So here we are. It looks a bit messy, but it will come together. I'll do one more and then I'll do the rest off camera. Here we go. So keep folding it. Now I'm going to turn this over and put it against this edge of my pasta machine. Like that. I'm going to keep going, and actually I'm going to go down to a number 3 now. Voila. The thinner your, the lower your setting on the pasta machine, the thinner the setting, the easier it is, the faster it is to blend the clay. Just, here we go. Sorry, it's starting to blend quite nicely, but I want a perfect blend. So I'm just going to, again, turn this around, butt it up against the side of my machine, put it through one and number 3, and I'm going to keep on doing that until I have a blend that I'm happy with. So I'll be back when I have that. Okay, we're getting there, but we're not there yet. Now I want to take a little bit of white. I'm going to roll it out to a little tiny, tiny, tiny snake. And I mean tiny, or even just little lines, as long as they're going in the same direction. This is going to be kind of like the sea foam, if you will. I think it's probably okay. I don't want too much. It's going everywhere. And a little bit more towards the sand, I guess. And I think that is probably enough. Voila. Okay, so that's all the weight we need. Not very much at all. Okay, so now I'm going to fold this up, back to the machine, and I'll come back when it's all done. Okay, I'm happy enough with this blend. It could be a little bit better, but I don't know how much of this you're actually going to see at the end of the day. So I'm actually going to make a bigger pendant than the other ones. Okay, so I'm taking this stamp that I got from Temu, and obviously the metallics are going to show up. The pattern is going to show up in the metallics, but the pattern will not show up because there's no mica particles in the blues. So I'm just going to put this on, where do I want? Oh, just like that. Just want this to kind of mimic sand. Now, normally I would put the clay on the stamp, but I'm putting the stamp on the clay instead this time. So I'm just going to get this nicely pressed in. I'm not putting any pressure here on the turquoises. I'm just putting it on the metallics. That should be good. It's one of the good things about clear stamps that you can see if there's any air pockets. I can see a couple, but it's nothing really to worry about. Voila, okay. Take this off. And there we go. I put this away. Now we need to get a sharp blade, a sharp flexible blade, and I have a wipe for cleaning. Put that away. And just slice. I'm not going to bother keeping any of these pieces, guys. Well, saying that, it might look pretty cool on the back. I'll save a couple, but I probably won't use them. And by the time I use them for another project, they'll be gone hard and whatever else. So, but I shall save it just in case. Now I'll start off a scrap pile. Move this out of the way. Get it clean.
Looking on my blunt tattoo, not here. If I stay alone, I will feel better. Looking on my blunt tattoo, not here. If I stay alone, I will feel better. When I go outside, I'm speechless. When nobody's home, I feel great.
Okay. Right, so now I'm going to take a piece of paper and my steel soap. And I already know I'm going to be taking this there, so I'm just going to get rid of the extra clay. Voila. All right, so now I'm going to take this just got wet, this with my steel soap and give it a real good burnish. Again, this is a steel soap. This is great for starting off the burnishing, but you don't want to finish the burnishing with this really because it's quite rough. And it's rounded, so it'll leave kind of dents in the clay. So you really want to finish off with your fingers or a card or something like that. I don't think I left myself very much turquoise, actually. I really like this one. I was thinking of having the portholes in the blue part because the ship isn't on land, is it? The cruise ship's on the water. So we want the holes to be in the water and not on the sand. I'm going to lose a lot of my bronze, unfortunately. I don't know if you can see, but the pattern is coming through. Because even though there's, like I said, there's no metallics in the turquoise, but the copper is bled into the turquoise and it has metallics, then you can just faintly see the sand going into the sea. I'm getting all artsy-fartsy today. Oops. Don't want that there. That's fine. Right, now let's release this off my glass. Okay. I'm just going to cut around this. So I'm going to put some backing clay on it now. Which is the scrap clay. Keep my bronze. Put that in my bronze. that in scrap, and that with turquoise. All right, now where is my scrap? Here's some scrap with the rest of this scrap and this scrap. I'm gonna keep that. That goes here, there, there, and here. Voila. Okay, so now let's put this through on a number 3. And now on a 6 and see how our thicknesses will be. Gosh, I'm not speaking properly now. And one more pass. Oh no, this is looking kind of nice itself, actually. I kind of like that. Okay, so now let's take this up. Put this down. My hands are sticky. I just put moisturizer on. Very sticky clay. Brush onto the paper. Very gently, very carefully put this down, trying to get any trapped air in there. Looks good. And now I'm going to give this another burnish because I can still see a lot of holes there for the turquoise. So let's give this an extra good burnish. That's so much better. Okay. Now lift this up again. Don't want that, do we? There we go. Okay. All right, now let's choose. Again, I do want a little bit of bronze in there. Maybe I'm just gonna have to miss it out. So I'm trying to let you guys see I'm not getting the right angle. There we go, that's better. I think that's good. I think that is good. Maybe a little bit more blue. Just a little bit more. Again, that's where the portholes are going to be. Yeah, I'm going for it. Okay, get my block. And give that a good push. Okay, I like this to stick to the paper. Very good. Now I'm not going to take the excess off yet, because if you leave the, this will come off with sanding. If you leave the excess clay, the outside clay, then when I poke holes in with these, it shouldn't make shouldn't make the main. Gosh, I can't speak now. It shouldn't let the main circle distort out of shape. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so we're doing the blue. So I think the pen is going to be like this, was like like the ship coming into shore. So I think I'm going to do a big one. Big one. Well, too late now. Big one here. And I have my photo up here of my of the black one, and we're going to put 2 here. 1. The orange snuck in there. And another one, leaving enough space for the silver portholes. Okay, and then what did I go with? I went with another big one. Do I want to do another big one? Yeah, I'll do the same as I did with the last one. And a yellow. Now that's the yellow finished. So yellow done. Now we're going, oh, what did I use? Another small one. No, I'm gonna do a green here. So it's a medium. Okay. And now another red. Red. I think I might just do one more. Or should I do a green? I really should kind of taper off, shouldn't it? No, I'm just going to do one more red one here. Voila, that is all. Okay, so now that's done. Now I am going to get my trusty egg poacher, and I'll put you on pause just 1 minute so I can put my gloves on because I need to use alcohol. Okay, so now let's get this up off the paper and onto our dome, which is a silicone egg poacher. I bought this silicone egg poacher in Ireland well over 20 years ago, even 25 years ago. You can still get them now. You know, I've seen them on Amazon, but if you're going to look for one, these are great. But you want to make sure you have one that doesn't have it. It's just completely rounded bottom, right? So I think that's looking good. Is it? I hope so. So I'm going for it. I'm going to be extra careful with these holes. Extra careful. Now I'm going from the middle and tapping out. We don't want any air in there, and you're less likely to distort the shape. And that looks okay to me. Now I gave my egg poacher a rub down with a wet wipe and some rubbing alcohol, just to make sure it's dust free and so that it sticks nicely on it. I'm happy enough with that. That's gonna look kind of funky actually. Okay, so now that's done. Now let's get another wet wipe and some alcohol. This is 95% alcohol. It's not actually rubbing alcohol or isopropyl. This is actually a cleaning alcohol. It's very strong. I'm just trying to get rid of that little mark there. So not only am I giving this a nice smooth, I'm attaching it down, I'm letting it stick to the cup better and giving this a real nice smooth over, and it will save a lot of time in sanding. It's going to go around the edges. Yeah, I'm not happy with this line here, but I can probably get that out with sanding. See where I laid down the circle cutter first? Where is the camera? Yeah, just here. But that will come out with sanding. If not, I can just refill it with a little bit of clay. I don't want to use too much alcohol because alcohol really does dry the clay out, and I don't want it to split, which has happened to me many times before. But I think that is good. Okay, so I am going to put this in the oven, a preheated oven for 40 minutes. 40 minutes because it's rather thick. And I'm going to sand it. So I'm going to, okay, so in the oven, 40 minutes. I will come back tomorrow after I have this all sanded and buffed, and then we'll go ahead then and we'll do the portholes and the backing. Okay, so I'll see you then. Okay, here it is. I'm not happy with it. I'm just not happy with it. I have it mostly sanded. I've missed a couple of little dents here in the turquoise part. But I wasn't really happy with it at all. I actually went ahead and made another one, the exact same but smaller. I didn't use the little small hole punch. I didn't use the little small cutter. And I wanted the little cute little holes. So I went ahead and with my hand drill, with the largest drill bit, which is 3mm, which is the same as this here, the orange one, I drilled a few more holes. I'm happier with it, but I'm still not happiest with it. And so yesterday, I spent literally all day yesterday contemplating what would be the best backing color. I tried bronze. I tried the copper. I tried the turquoise green. I tried the turquoise blue. I tried turquoise blue, mix a little bit of white, kind of make it look like sky. No. I tried the shavings. I put on the turquoise. It's like, oh, a bit of a reflection of the sands off the water. But no, I didn't like it. So then I tried silver. And I reverted to gold. And this is actually a Cernit gold, just regular Cernit gold, mixed with a little bit of a Sculpey 18 karat, and it's literally really roughly mixed. And then I also threw in some dazzling diamond. Again, I spent all day playing around, and I'm settled on this one. And what I think this is like the sunshine, the sun hitting off the, reflecting off the windows, okay? The cruise ship windows. Anyway, so that's that now. I literally just put this on. I rolled this out to a number 7. I didn't use any glue. I just smeared it on, very carefully patted it down here. I didn't want to indent too much to go towards the surface here. Anyway, so that's it. Put it in the oven for 20 minutes, and there we go. Now I just put a little, this is aluminum wire, 1mm aluminum wire. Or it might be 0.8 actually. And I'll use just a little bit of super glue just to tack it down. And I'm going to do a more normal trick. I'm going to put a backing on it, and I'm going to use the bronze. And there we go. So put a quick back on it. I'm going to roll this out on a number, let's try it on a number 4. I think we're going to go to number 5 actually, but hold on now. This is a number 4. Yeah, I'm going to stick on a 4 because of that. Okay, so I'm going to get my Cernit glue. And very sparingly put a little bit of glue here. I don't want to touch the wire. You know, I've done this in quite a few videos, but what I do is when the oven stops, I take the piece out right away, and with a pair of pliers, I put pressure on the back, and I quickly pull this out, and it comes out a treat, no problem at all. Otherwise, if you don't pull it out right away, you will not get the metal out. Okay, so just let me smear this on. And I got a little bit on the, hold on now, some kitchen roll. I got some on the wire, which I didn't want to do, because I want this wire to come out nice and smoothly. Take that off. Take that off. Voila. And again, you really don't want too much glue. You don't need much glue at all. Okay, so now the best way to do this is put it on. Smush it down there. I'm going to use my aquarium sponge afterwards. And now I'm just going to actually take my X-Acto knife, get rid of the excess. Okay, now my little trick now is just to, like that. It makes it so much easier cutting around the wire. Now I'm not going to frame this as I usually do. I usually frame my pieces with the backing. I don't want to. I'm just going to do this and put the stop in the very back, and then I'm just going to do just a smear with the bronze just to finish it off nicely. Voila, let's turn it over. And we quite simply just cut. I've tried many other ways, and this is the newest one I've come up with, and it works the easiest for me. Okay, now I take my sponge, which is not wet, it's quite dry. I'm gonna take a little bit of water and give it a little spray. Not too much. And let's get this down. Now, before I do anything, I'm going to take my little tiny needle tool, and especially around here and here, I'm going to poke some holes. Lots of little holes. We don't want any air pockets. Okay, and I'm going to take my blade and just tidy up. I'm going on a bit of an angle because again, I don't want this coming over to the front. Okay, anyway, I'm going to tidy that up off camera. But what I am going to do real quick is I am just going to put my my logo on, which I pre-made. This is, again, just a bronze with a little bit of silver mica powder, and it's rolled out on a number 7. I have a video dedicated to how I back my pieces, but that's it wasn't doing it this way, and also how I make my logo. So now I'm just going to put a little tiny dab of glue just there in the center, and pop this on there. There we go. And it's also good so I can hold on to it without squishing my clay. Okay, so I'm going to do the rest of this now off camera. We'll come back and then we'll put the our little portholes on and finish it up. Okay, so it's all out of the oven. I did the smear. I smeared the clay on it, so it is all ready, and I actually gave it a quick buff with my rotary tool, so it's a bit shiny. Okay, so there it is. It's ready to go. But I forgot one step. Before I put the backing on, I used the chrome marker, and let me get this top off. There we go. And I put a coat on the inside. Look how lovely that is on the inside. Okay, so I did that to all the holes, and I actually let that dry overnight. This particular marker, well, again, it's from Temu. It's very inexpensive. It took forever to dry fully dry. So there we go. So that's what I did. I let this sit again overnight so it was fully dried before I put the backing clay on. Right, now in saying that, I just buffed this. This is the part that had the chrome marker on it, and this is the part that didn't. I gave it a quick buff. There's not much of a difference now. Now the chrome didn't come off. It's just that for whatever reason, when it was buffed, it just kind of made it duller. So I'm not going to bother putting any of the chrome marker on the clay when it's raw. Okay, right. Now let's get to the real delicate part. Now I need to get my light. Sorry. Doink. For precision. Right, now this is a little bit awkward, but I'll do a couple on camera for you. Right, we're gonna go for a small one. We're gonna go for a medium one. Here's a medium one. Now I've got my flexible sharp blade, and I'm just very gently picking it up. Now let's see if this will want to fall. No. So I'm gonna try this. Because don't forget we have the glue in here, right? So it's extra sticky. Voila. Okay. Now, sorry, I need to go off a little bit. I gotta position it. I'm gonna get my needle tool, and I'm just gonna very gently try to get it in place. Okay, I know I'm happy with it there. I'm gonna tap. I'm gonna go around here a little bit. I'm happy with it there. Tap. And giving it a good tap down. Now there's a little bit hanging over. Just going to tidy up. Sorry you can't see very well, but I need to see. And again, I'm going to give it a good tie. Again, I really want to get it into place. Okay. So all I'm doing is taking my needle tool and just rounding it out, going inside the thing, inside the hole. Okay, so there it is. So, and again, I'm going to flatten it down quite well, because again, we're not applying any glue to it. And voila. Okay, so there it is. I'm going to do the rest off camera, and I'm going to put this in the oven to cure for about well, it's so little and fine. I think for about maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and that should be just fine. Now I'm going to say, oops, oh no, and it's fine. Oh goodness. Some of these circles aren't perfectly lined, So like this is a little bit narrower here than this side. So I'm going to put the narrower side in next to the, where the holes are a bit close. Okay, and I'm going to finish this off. This is going to take me a long time to do, because again, it is quite tedious. And I'll come back when it's all baked. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, so it's out of the oven, and I gave it a polish with my rotary tool. Again, these are well adhered on now. I'm so pleased about that. I mean, that's I think that's a pretty good discovery. Anyway, now it's time for the chrome marker. Now you could leave this as is. It's not bad. But I really wanted it to be in your face. So I'm just going to do the big one here because I need my magnifying glass to do the small ones, okay? And I don't want to have to change the light on you again. Anyway, all I'm doing with this one is just quite simply, just very gently tapping. Just tapping it on. This takes a long time to dry, as I said. So I'm just gonna do the one. Now I am gonna tell you as well, again, this marker, it says what? It says permanent, waterproof, highly opaque, and works on most surfaces. Well, it is not waterproof because when I did the big one here, I did it, this was in water a lot, soapy water, and the gray still stayed, but the chrome didn't. And also, as you can see, the inside, it has dulled slightly from the heat, okay? So if you want a real chrome, you're gonna want to let it air dry and not put it through the, not heat dry. Anyway, so I'm gonna do the rest of these off camera. And we've already gone over an hour for this video, so I am going to assemble the necklace. How, I don't know yet, but I will come back and show you in the show and tell. Okay, we reached show and tell. I'm going to show you in the order in which I made them. These are the pair of earrings. These are the first ones that I made. I really like these. These are just with the color blend, and these are reversible. Again, I really like these. What I did was I made a bunch of blanks and I just drilled holes in them with my hand drill, different size holes, and there we go. Then after that, I just sandwiched the turquoise in between, and then I finished it off with the Jessama smear. But I really quite like these, I have to say. I think they're really quite cute, and they're quite lightweight as well. So there are the first ones. They're the earrings. Then I made the black one, as you saw in the photo in the intro. Here we go. There we go. It's quite self-explanatory. It's just the black, and then I put a backing of turquoise, and then it's backed with the black again, with a hidden tube bail. But what I did do though, it's a little bit different than it was in the intro, in the photo. I just put a bit of the chrome marker on it. I just think it gives it more of an oomph. Before in the photo, it just had the heat transfer foil. Okay, and this is actually on a 4mm Buna cord. My first time using it, I thought that 4mm really quite suited this one. So there we go. Now, then we made this one, which I don't know. We didn't. No. Then we made this one. I made this one. And then again, I put the little portholes on, just in trying it out without the glue, with the glue in the clay and not on the clay. And again, I'm really quite happy with that little discovery. I mean, you know, putting glue on can be quite messy, so I'm quite pleased with myself. But anyway, that's that, and here is the back, and this is just on a 2mm Buna cord with the tiger tail in the wire. Okay, so there's that one. Now for this one, I just, in the holes, I put a little tiny bit of resin and some of this sterling lining, and then I topped up the resin, and then I put a little tiny dome. So it's kind of glass-like, which I think works for this one. but it wouldn't have worked for this one because the holes are quite large. Now, I absolutely love this one. I'm really pleased with how this turned out. There we go. I actually put 2 coats of the chrome marker on this, and it's on now. It's fine as dried, but it did take overnight to dry. Here is the back. Now I have this on a 3mm Buna cord as well, and I just have some, I thought, matching beads with gold and silver spacer beads. Again, I segmented the Buna cord, so this is 4 centimeters, 6 and 6. Which I think kind of adds a little bit of interest. But all in all, I'm really pleased with this one. I really, really am. So there we go. That's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're here and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It's free to subscribe and it really helps out my channel. And if you'd like to help me out and my channel, please consider becoming a member. That would be fantastic. And I guess that's it. And I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.